Sometimes I get partway through a song and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
the sound of the snare and all that, you get bogged down.
oh,
All these other...
yeah. I'm like, how can you spend an hour? Like sometimes I'm sitting there with my producer and he's like, oh, I could spend an hour on this snare. And I was like, what? What do you mean?
No.
They're all the same. They're fairly similar. Like I was like, I've got 5 other songs I want to do.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'll let you spend an hour on the snare another time and let's make something new now.
It's so funny. I see comments on other people's tracks. People get not silly, don't they, online? And some of the producers get a bit jealous of each other, I find sometimes, which is a shame. And they put, oh God, yeah, big competition. And then they put comments on like, your snare sounds rubbish or something like that. I'm like, why would you say that? Who cares what the snare? Listen to this whole song.
That's why they're good at that, because they love 100 different snares.
I don't get it. Yeah,
but that's a good track. That's a good title track for another song, 100 snares.
In a way, being a singer-songwriter, music artist, focusing on music, doing your music is actually quite lonely, because people who don't do music or aren't creative don't get it. It was stressing me out every time I'd go through on my social media pages, seeing, oh, they're doing that. Oh my God, she's so good. Oh my God, they're so much better than me. I can't do that. I can't sing like that. I can't write a song like that. And it was making me feel really bad about myself. People who are doing music, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Fill up your news feeds on your social media accounts with things that inspire you, make you happy. So my advice to everyone, find some happy, positive things to follow. Focus just on being you, and don't try and compare yourself and copy anyone else. Just do you, do what you love to do. Ignore everybody else. This is what I'm learning. Don't listen to anybody else.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Good Vibes Show with Marie Hopkinson and friends. And today I'm joined by the lovely Emily B, and we're going to be talking about songwriting. Emily B is from the UK, and we're going to talk about her influences in music and her inspiration in writing songs, and we're just going to see where the conversation flows. So if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that notification bell, and that way you'll never miss an episode. You'll be notified because YouTube will try to hide it from you otherwise. So you need to subscribe, and you need to tell your friends about the show, because this is really new. And I want to really talk to songwriters and musicians and singers about what's the meaning behind the music, and what do we get out of it, and what do we find that fans get out of it, and all that sort of stuff. So welcome so much, Emily. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, thank you for having me. I love the name of the show too, Good Vibes.
Yeah. Thank you. I came up with it myself. There's plenty of other Good Vibes shows out there, I think, as well. But it's because we want to share the good vibes that music brings.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think in amongst the ups and downs of stuff, right? Like life has ups and downs. Musicians and songwriters have ups and downs. But how do we draw out that good stuff that keeps us coming back to it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So you're in the UK?
I am indeed. Yes. I'm in
Oxfordshire. Oxfordshire. Is it really cold there? Warm?
Don't talk to me about the weather. It's hard work. It really is. One day it will be boiling hot. I'll be on my sunlight lounger with my gin, really happy, listening to my tunes. Within a few hours, it will be dark, it will be raining, maybe snowing, who knows. It's like chop change all the time, and it's hard work. I just want it to stay sunny and warm. Come on, It's nearly June now.
You'll have to move to Australia.
I really need to do that. Yes, I shall come over and visit you, and we'll do some songs.
Yeah, awesome. And how long have you been doing music for, like this full time, or this really into it time?
Right. Well, I've sort of had periods when I've had to start. So I started again a year ago, and that was because of lockdown. And in lockdown, in 2020, I just was so, I don't know, I was bored, I was depressed. It was like there's something massively missing, and I felt really sad that I wasn't doing my music anymore. and I just decided, right, that's it. So I couldn't do music in lockdown for various reasons, but once we were all out of lockdown, I was like, yes, now that's it. I've decided I've got to go for it again. I've just got to do it because it just makes me so happy. But previous to that, I have been doing music my whole life. I've been involved in music and writing songs since I was about 10 years old on my keyboard
Awesome.
and saxophone. Yeah, so a long time, many years.
So you play the saxophone as well?
Yes.
Wow, that's so
I
cool.
played it in your little video, Marie. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do remember. But sometimes people just, I don't know, dance about with it.
Oh no, I wasn't faking it. I can actually play. I got up to like grade 7, I think, or something at school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Cool. So what within all of this, obviously lockdown was a unique situation that happened, but what keeps you coming back to music all the time then? With, you know, what's the driving force, do you think, to keep you coming back to doing the songwriting?
It's where I find my joy. Everybody has their thing, like in your song, what the world needs you. Is that what it was called? Yeah. Everybody has their own unique passion that they should be doing in life that gives them so much joy, and music is that for me. And I kind of hadn't really realized how important it was to me until lockdown, and previous to that I'd given up. I had to stop for a few years because I had a baby, I had a little boy, and trying to be a mum and do music and stuff, it's just impossible. You can't do everything. So I was missing it, and I felt sad. I was thinking about music, and when I thought about it, I was so sad I wasn't doing it. And so after that, I was like, yes, now I've just got to do it. But everybody has their passion. Music is my passion, and it gives me so much joy. And I was thinking about this because I don't know if you've seen the kids movie Soul.
No.
I mean, oh, it's so good. Well, you should watch it, because they actually talk about this. There's a character, he's brilliant. It's Graham Norton. I don't know if you know who Graham Norton is.
I know Graham Norton.
Yeah, he's so funny. He's a brilliant actor and comedian, Irish TV radio presenter. He's a character in it called Moonwind. And basically kind of like this hippie dude, and his joy, it's not music, but everybody has their own different type of thing. It could be painting, like you. His joy was just spinning signs on a New York on the path on a New York street corner, and when he get into his zone spinning it, that is the place. They say it's the zone is a place that the soul enters when their passions create a euphoric trance.
Wow.
There you go. So that's what happens to us, Marie, when we do music. Our souls enter into a euphoric trance, but it does feel like it, doesn't it? It makes you feel really happy, and it's very hard to explain it. It's for all creative people, not just creative people. I'm sure sports people as well get it, or whatever your passion is. So when you're doing it, you zone out of everything else, and then you feel amazing and happy, and it's just the best feeling. It's very hard to explain. You just have to experience it.
Yeah, well, I think you put it really well, because there is something where you probably just keep coming back to it no matter what. And that brings me to my next question, like, what do you think music does for you that nothing else does? Or does it? Like, could you replace it with something else? Or do you think music does something, and what would that thing be?
Well, I tried to replace, when I wasn't doing music, I tried to replace it. I run a candle business. So I realized that in lockdown, if I wasn't doing something creative every day, I would get very depressed. So instead of doing music in lockdown, I was sort of designing labels for my candles, which was fun because I was being creative, but it still wasn't like doing music. Music is part of everyone's lives all the time, whether it's part of my life when I'm not actually writing songs. I wake up in the morning I put the radio on my phone straight away. I can't do anything without having music on in the background. It's bizarre because you probably think, oh god, that's a bit.
No, look, I honestly don't think that's bizarre at all, because I do the exact same thing, and I didn't even realize it was weird until I was like, because I live by myself and I was staying with someone else, and they were like, "Can you shut that racket up? Why do you have to have music on all the time?"
You have to have it on. You have to have the and especially your favorite songs, because it sort of lifts your mood, puts you in a happy place. Or you use it when you're sad, you want to listen to songs just to process your feelings. And it's just I forgot, cut this bit because I forgot what the question was. Now I'm rambling on.
We don't need to cut it. No, you're exactly answering it. Like, I just asked you, what does music do that nothing else does for you?
Yeah, oh yeah, well it's that. And when I'm writing songs and recording songs, as I said before, you get into the zone, but it shuts out anything else that's going on in your mind, in your life. If I'm stressed out about other things, the best thing that I can do, if obviously I have to be in the right mood to do it, but is sit down, write, and start writing a song, playing music. It zones me out of everything. It chills me out, and then I feel happy again. I forget about what the stress was, and then it doesn't even matter anymore. And then afterwards, I'm too excited about my new song to be stressed out about anything else. So so that's what music does for me. It just it's just always there, part of my life. And now I've realized that it's made me so happy. I just have to keep going and keep doing it all the time, because
have you always written songs in the drum and bass area?
No, not at all. So I started writing little pop songs since I was 10 years old. My music technology teacher at school, who started me all off on this, he was fantastic and a massive support. He used to be the producer, he used to help produce and write tunes with some of the big sort of 90s acts like Steps. I think he did stuff with the Spice Girls. He wrote the actual tracks and produced the songs for you might not know who this is, but Alice DJ. There was a very popular track. I don't know if what it got to in the charts, but it was Back in Your Life, and they're all constantly playing that still on the radio all the time. It's really funny when it comes on. I do a little video and go, "Look, John, more royalties for you," and I send it over to him. Just with him, because it comes on all the time. It's just
letting you know it's getting played again.
It's like, oh god, it's you again. Yeah, you're back on the radio. Oh, another cup of coffee for you from Starbucks or whatever it pays for. Well, I've been doing music since writing pop songs since I was 10, and I did a pop album with Simon Ellis back in 2012 as well, and he's Britney Spears' musical director, and loads of bands. He's done massive stuff. So I went to his house every week, did a really cool album with him, and I've done folk stuff before, and I've sort of done like more rocky indie stuff briefly, and I was in a band, little rock band as well. So no, not just drum and bass. I love drum and bass, and I fell in love with it when I was a teenager. It was part of my life then, and ever since. And dance music, obviously, just makes me so happy dancing about in the club. But no, I love all types of music. It's not just drum and bass. My parents they play the folk guitar. My mum used to play folk club. My granddad used to make guitars and harps and stuff. So yeah, love all the folk stuff. Brought up with Joni Mitchell and Carole King, James Taylor. Oh, I think I told you this before. Yeah, with all the old Fleetwood Mac, who you love as well. Love them. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have lots of different, I don't know, vibes and influences, isn't it? Because you can kind of draw those into
everyone used to laugh at me. I used to, when I was younger, I used to drive around in my little Beetle, convertible 1960s Beetle, and I had to have the best music blasting out all the time. You could not drive the car without having your music, your tunes on, your favorite music. So my mix, I would make cassettes up and CDs when eventually, it's showing my age now, cassettes. But the mixes I used to do were absolutely ridiculous, because it would go from like, I can't think now, Mambo, the ridiculous pop song, cheesy pop song, to then James Taylor, to then Prodigy, to then I don't know, a drum and bass track. It was like all over the place, but that's just me. I just love all types of music all at once. I don't just stick to like, oh, today I'm only going to listen to drum and bass. No, it's just whatever the song is. It's just the song, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the vibes that the music and the song bring to you. Yeah.
So when you write a song, what kind of comes first to you? Is it like the meaning of the song, or the vibe of the song, or the beat, or what comes first, do you reckon?
Oh, it's really hard to answer that, because it's actually, I thought about this, it's actually different every time I do I write a song. It also depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll sit at the keyboard, play a chord, wham, a whole song appears out of nowhere just from that. Or I'll find a weird sound and I'll just play a few notes of it, and then that will spark the whole song. Or other times I will be doing something on my day, and I'll suddenly a line of a lyric will pop in my head out of nowhere, and I'll write it down, and then that becomes a song. What else? Can't think of any. Yeah, it's sort of random for me. I don't actually have a specific process for songwriting every time, which is kind of fun and exciting, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. And can you sort of sit down and say, I'm going to write a song today, or do you have to wait for the mood and then do it?
You do have to wait for the mood. I definitely can't do it when I'm tired. When I'm lethargic and stuff. I've tried and it just doesn't work at all. Yeah. I know when I'm in the song, I can just feel it. I just get this feeling. It's kind of an excited feeling, and I know that I'm going to write a song that day when I get that. Yeah. I can't do it otherwise, unless you have to be in the right mood. Otherwise you kind of force it, and it doesn't work when you try and force it. I have to write a song today. If you do that, no, it doesn't work. It sounds awful.
Yeah, I'm just so interested in different people's processes, because everyone has a different way. And I think other people might be interested in that as well, because sometimes people think, oh, they heard about a way someone does it, and they think, oh, I could never, but they try to do it and they can't. And they think, oh, then I'll never be able to write a good song, because I don't do it the same way Bono does from U2, or I don't do it the same way so-and-so does, or whatever. Right. And these are like new songwriters or people that are young and thinking, how do I do it? Right. So I'm always interested in knowing, and also then that gives me ideas. New ways I can do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh no, you mustn't. I was going to say that as well. You must never compare yourself to any of the other singer-songwriters. I mean, there's millions and millions of people writing songs. Who cares? Don't let it put you off. That's what I mean. I mean, yeah, you can get inspired by how they do it, but don't worry if you're not doing it a different way and you think, oh, that's how they're doing it, I should do it like that, because no, it's not your way. You don't have to worry. Well, do your thing.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's really cool. And so, like, how long would it take you to write a song, do you think, on average?
Well, probably I'll do it in a day, in a few hours. Sometimes they'll come and literally it will be an hour. I mean, it depends if you mean the whole process of them recording all the vocals and all the music and everything. Because then actually writing the song can be as quick as that. Or if you get stuck with lyrics, you get stuck with lyrics. It's so annoying.
Yeah, 1 year process.
When I'm in the zone and I've got the songs flowing and I get to like the second verse and I'm like, it ruins the whole flow. But no, generally it's quite quick because you're in the zone.
Yeah.
When you're flowing the universe, it just happens quickly. So I would say in a few hours I could have a whole track done and recorded in the day.
And with your, I can see in the background, I've seen a few of your videos. You set up a new studio there. Is that,
Yes.
do you do your own recording, or do you go to do the vocals somewhere else, or do you do your own recording?
Yeah, I do all the vocals myself here. I edit them all, record them all, and then I send them to producers to help me finish off the track. I do the music. Some of the music I do myself, and I start it off myself, but I really need the producer afterwards to help me enhance it and make it what it needs to be. I get frustrated because I know how I want it to sound and it doesn't. But I spent many years doing top lines for loads and loads of different dance producers. And so I got out of the habit of actually producing and making the music and the dance tracks myself. So I got a bit behind with it out of practice. So and now I don't have time. I mean, yes, there's loads of YouTube videos on how to do this and how to do that on different software and stuff, but it's very time consuming, and I just want to focus literally on just writing the songs and recording vocals. That's the bit that I have the most fun with. I love playing the piano, I love keyboard and everything, but I get help with the music part.
Yeah, but I do that as well. Like, there's no way I can sit there with the patience. Like, sometimes I get partway through a song and I'm just like,
the snare and all that, you get bogged down.
I'm like, how can you spend an hour? Like, sometimes I'm sitting there with my producer and he's like, oh, I could spend an hour on this snare, and I was like, what do you mean? No. They're all the same. They're fairly similar. Like, I was like, I've got 5 other songs I want to do.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'll let you spend an hour on the snare another time, and let's make something new now.
It's so funny. I see comments on other people's tracks. People get silly, don't they, online? And some of the producers get a bit jealous of each other, I find sometimes, which is a shame. And they put, oh God, yeah, big competition. And then they put comments on like, your snare sounds rubbish or something like that. I'm like, why would you say that? Who cares? What, the snare? Listen to this whole song.
That's why they're good at that, because they love 100 different snares.
I don't get it. Yeah.
That's a good track. That's a good title track for another song, 100 snares.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to write that down while I do this, so I'll forget it. I'll remember it back when I'm editing it.
Oh yeah, look, I've got my book. Oh, it's backwards because it says the future is happy, and this is where I'm writing all my lyrics at the moment.
Awesome. Yeah, you've got to have something to jot things down, because I find ideas just come to you, and then you're like,
oh yeah, I have to do it on my phone. So if I'm out and about and an idea comes, I'll never ever remember it again. I have to literally write it down in the notes. You should see my notes. I'll get them. I don't know. This is like going on and on, like random words, phrases, anything, all in. If I lose my phone though,
I know. I actually, before I started doing songwriting, like I would say properly, like I was thinking about that I wanted to do it. I was running a retail shop, and I used to like record my song ideas into my phone. And one day I left my phone in the shop just as I normally would, and a customer bloody stole it. And it wasn't backed up for like a year. And I lost all my songs. So whoever's stolen that phone has got some old songs of mine.
Do you remember any of them?
No, there's no way. I don't even. They're inconsequential now. I've written better ones now. Who cares about those old ones?
Sometimes that's the way when you lose stuff or you lose data from.
But at the time, I was very upset. But yeah, I use a lot of the audio thing on the iPhone, like because sometimes I'll be driving, and an idea comes to me, and I'm like, oh, if I don't speak it into the phone, because I can't write it down when you're driving car. I don't know what it is about going somewhere, but that often makes me think of a lyrics idea, like walking somewhere or driving in my car.
You're driving, you're zoning out, and you're kind of, I get that, definitely.
Just ideas suddenly come to you, right?
Yeah.
When you're going somewhere, it's almost like, the momentum's happening, you're moving somewhere. I don't know, it's just a thing.
Yeah, if you're walking as well, it's because it's therapeutic. I guess driving therapeutic, you're sort of switched off a little bit. Not switched off because you're supposed to be driving, but you know what I mean.
We're not switched off. No one's switched off.
Like is yeah, I can't explain it, but yeah, walking is so good for mental health. So if it makes you feel more relaxed, and when you, especially with me, when I'm more relaxed, then the songs come. If
Mm.
I'm stressed, really stressed out or upset about anything, really, then I can't write a song. Really, I mean, so it could inspire an idea for a song. If I'm angry, I write down some angry lyrics, but I can't actually go and sit down and actually do a whole song when I'm in that mood. Yeah. I was going to say, because you were saying about the phone with the voice notes and recording on the phone, that's so handy these days, isn't it? To be able to just do that literally with your phone, because you need it at that precise moment when the idea comes. And I remember when I was younger, I used to have a little mini disc recorder with a little mic. I used to, they encouraged us to use it because I did music technology at college, and they said you must get a little portable mini disc player and a little mic thing, and actually it was really handy. I don't know what I would have done without that.
It's funny, I had one of those too. I got the first Sony Walkman that you could record on.
Oh wow.
And I used to run around with this Walkman strapped to me with a little microphone here in case I got an idea. I would have been about 16 or 17. Because I was thinking, I'm going to be a superstar. I'm going to write these songs. Not really, but it did cross my mind that I would write some songs. And so I bought one of these little recorders, because people don't realize how easy things are like that now. Like, there was a time where you'd have to set up all of this stuff in order to record something. And it's all going onto a tape.
On the tapes, yeah. On the
cassette tape.
Yeah. Oh God, what's it called?
Reel to reel or whatever they use. Like
yeah.
that, it's not as, we're not as old as that.
My mind's gone blank now. Yeah. I know exactly.
What do they used to use? What do they use in the studio? Some kind of tape thing that goes from one tape thing to another.
Yeah, that's what my mind's gone blank. That's what I'm trying to think what it's called. I've seen them a million times. I used to be a studio assistant, and well, I wasn't using them, but they were there. Oh, 8-track and things.
Yeah, that's the 8-track. Yeah.
Got there in the end.
Yep. So what do you think makes a good song then?
Oh gosh, well, you've got to relate to it. I think it's rare for me these days to suddenly find a song. I say that actually, I found 3 recently, which is very rare, but if a song will come on and I'll go, oh, that's so good, and then I want to listen to it over and over and over and over again. And the reason that is good, the reason why I like it, is because I've either related to it or the tune is really catchy. For me, it's about a really, really catchy hook and really catchy melody, and or quirky, something a bit different. Yeah, I get very bored. All the commercial stuff is just all sounds the same. It's a bit boring, but something has to stand out for me, and that makes a really good song. I I haven't found any good songs recently until like a few weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. I had found like 3 in a row. I just kept playing and playing and playing. They just appeared. Maybe it was of lockdown. Suddenly they all sort of started releasing. People started releasing tracks. And I was like, wow, this is some good music coming out now.
Yeah, it's something great for people to have a song that they love. Like sometimes I do that. I find a song and I add it to my Spotify playlist. Like, or I just I always play my that's what I wake up to. I play my liked tracks, like
on my
Spotify, right? And there'll be some songs, and I don't know what it is. Like, you have to play it 10 times or 20 times, and then you're sort of sick of it. You don't play it for a while. Yeah. You come back to it later, but it's almost like you have to like wear that song out by playing it over and over.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. I literally did that last week with Charlie XCX's track, Good Ones.
Right.
So I had heard it before, but for some reason last week I needed that track, and I was playing it non-stop all day, every day. I'm still playing it. And I would do that with random things for no reason. I mean, it was just like, also I've discovered, do you know Arrow? Her name's Arrow, but she's Amy Osborne. You know the Osbournes?
Oh yeah. Yep.
The eldest daughter is making some good music. You need to listen. She has just released a track, which was also one of the ones that I was playing a few weeks ago, non-stop, called Against Mine. And you need to listen to it. It's so good. Yep. Oh my God, it hit me straight away. And I sent it to my DJ friend, and he was like, oh my God, that's so good. And he did a remix straight away of it. I was like, There you go. Good tune if you want to do a remix though.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so obviously that catchability and something, there's that obviously a non-tangible thing, right, to you, that you want to play that song over and over. Do you think in a songwriting sense there's something that a formula or a something you think about with it, like to maybe not in the initial writing of the song, but like as the song gets worked upon, is there something you think about, oh, I'll do this to make it a good song, like I'll always include this, or I try to think about this?
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, it depends on the genre because there are different sort of structures and stuff. But
Let's say this
generally,
in the genre you write in now, let's say.
yeah, I'm still sort of stuck in the pop mode really. And when I do a song, I still keep to the old verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, middle section, and then
Nothing wrong with that.
it's
It's pretty,
well,
pretty
because for me, because of
good.
the pop stuff, you know, that it's the bit it keeps you interested and it keeps you. I mean, you're always waiting for that hook to come back, but it depends. Some songs don't have that structure at all, and they're still absolutely amazing. Like I've been listening to. This is another really weird.
Yeah.
I'm so strange.
Fine.
Lime in the Coconut, Harry Wilson. Been listening to that all week.
Right.
I mean, there's no sort of structure to that weird. I mean, maybe there is a bit, but it's sort of really quirky tracks like that. I love because they're just so random, but the hook, it catches you, catches me, and I'm hooked.
That certainly changed music. I think TikTok and those things where sometimes those songs have gotten famous just from the hook. Like, you know, you hear something like, I don't know, that song like "It's Friday, yeah, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?" Like that's just a line, a one line of the song, and that's made that song take off because of that one line and a dance or something.
Yeah, that's that's quite effective, isn't it? That's quite clever, but I haven't really at the moment got the patience for TikTok. I have got a TikTok account, but you need to be really like, you have to keep thinking of clever ideas constantly for content, and it's short, tiny clips.
Sometimes the songs are just used by other people, I mean, on TikTok.
Yeah,
someone's happened to pick up that song, and sometimes I've noticed it, like I'll get really into the one line of that song because I've heard it over and over on TikTok used, and then you listen to the song in full and you're like, oh, this is nothing really just like that one line. If I'd have listened to this song from the verse and at the opening and the start, I would have like gotten hooked on that song.
Yeah, that is true. That's come on, guys. You can use our songs.
Exactly. Feel free to use them. They're there.
You don't mind.
Yeah.
Do a little dance routine to one of the chorus lines. That'll be good. Come on. Actually, that would be really good, guys. Do it. Send it to us, and Marie will pop it on her show.
I will. I'll make you a feature. I'll put your TikTok on the next Good Vibes show as a feature. Make a segment, a TikTok feature segment.
Yes.
Show us your tics and your top. All right. On a little bit more of a serious note. If I start laughing, I won't be able to stop laughing.
Giggles.
Yeah. So music helps us deal with ups and downs in life, and I'm sure that you've gone through some stuff in your life, and that's part of the journey of everybody. But what do you think the songwriting process does for you in dealing with the darkness of life? Something that songwriter, I just know from me and other people I've talked with who are songwriters, that they use it as a way to deal with their own darkness, and also to kind of process through the darkness that you see in the world, or the difficulty that you see in the world. Is that something that you've used music for yourself in your songwriting?
Most definitely. Yes, definitely. It is. It's a way of channeling your feelings, and it helps you cope with them a bit better and process them. And then it kind of, in a way, makes it into a positive thing, because you've created a song track out of something that was negative in your life. And also it's a way of calming you down, and as I said before, you zone out of all the negative thoughts going around in your mind, because you're focusing on writing a track. And even if the track is about that bad thing, it's still well, it just makes it into a happy, positive creation. I'm trying to think of the right words to explain it. It's like the yin and yang, isn't it? There's always a little bit of good and in the bad and bad and good, but yeah, it definitely helps. It's very therapeutic to do music if you are going through a bad time, or anything in the world stressing you out, or whatever it is. Yeah. Or being creative. It doesn't have to be writing music. Anyone who's creative. Yeah, it's an extremely useful tool if you can do it.
Yeah, I think it's something that people can experiment with if they want to. Like you said, that some people are creative in different ways, but it's kind of like the whole thing of creative is like you're creating something that wasn't there before. And it's almost like this horrible thing that's happened to you, or this difficult stuff that you don't even know how to deal with, is you can kind of somehow something else comes out of it, like a thing that you can see or listen to, or like it might be something in the arts, but it could be a candle, like what you were saying before. You're making a candle, like you're making something that wasn't in the world before. And this kind of I mean, something that like has kind of really happened to me with my music, where I didn't really expect people to respond so emotively, because I wasn't writing the songs out of like such a darkness in me. It was just more reflecting about what other people were going through or other things that had happened. And then, other people have taken hold of some of those things and then said these really serious things that had gone on in their life. And it messaged me, sometimes put it on a comment on my Facebook page. And that's made me like really touched me. And like for instance, some of my songs can talk about loss or something like that. And I was like, wow, these people have really, and they were saying, oh, your song has helped me through that difficult time. And I almost feel like,
yes.
How how did it do that?
Oh, that's so lovely. Yes, because they relate to it. They relate to the words, and that's magical. I've had that recently with one of my tracks, Ready to Go. One of my friends, Bad Time, he kept messaging me saying, oh my God, I really relate to all these words. It's such an amazing song, Emily, blah, blah. And it was just that was just the most magical and amazing thing you could ever sort of get from doing music. People saying things like that to you, and getting something from it and relating to it and helping them through at that moment by listening to your song. I mean, wow.
It does feel like a wow, doesn't it? Like it's almost like a really special thing that I don't know if you could ever get that any other way.
No, it's like I with your recent guest Matt, I did watch your previous show, and he was saying the best feeling in the whole world is when people are singing back to you your song in the audience. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that hasn't happened to me because I'm not really doing live stuff at the moment, but I love it when people text me my own lyrics.
Yeah.
They do that quite a lot on social media. They send me a line and I'm like, oh my God, yes, it's my song. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice. Or with the DJs, play out my tracks on their sets on their radio shows or out at an event, and seeing people dancing to your music. Wow. That's a wow. That's what it's all about, making people happy and dancing.
Is performing something you want to get into in that arena, or do you prefer like just to write the songs and let the DJs play them?
Yes and yes. No, I do love doing just the songs, and I have been studio based for many years. I had a few gigs before, quite a long time ago, and then I had to stop. And I really need to get back into doing some live stuff, and I'm in the process now of trying to sort it all out and work out what I'm going to do. And because I am doing drum and bass, I am also doing like house music as well. And I'm kind of crossing over into house and pop and more of that stuff as well. So it's kind of working out, how am I going to do my live stuff? Am I going to do it all in one, or am I just going to go and do drum and bass stuff? Am I going to do pop housey stuff or what? So yeah, and I'm trying to get help from DJs, and it'd be nice to go out with a DJ and they DJ the tracks and I sing along. That will give me more confidence as well, rather than just going up on my own. So I won't be playing like the instruments live. Or I could do. I guess I could. You see, this is what I need to work out. Do I want to do? Do I want to take a keyboard with me? Do I just want to sing on a mic? What am I going to do? Am I having little dances and do a dance routine?
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff to think about here. But yes, I would like to. It's important, I think, to get out. Then people can see who you are, and you'll get to more ears that way. And also, it's just really good fun, isn't it? Performing live is what it's about, really. Yeah, so I need to do it. I need to get organized, Marie. Organize me.
Like, there's so many things to do, isn't there? I think people don't realize, like, when you're an independent musician, songwriter, singer, whatever, like, there's so much to do. And
just a bit that you love. And
would be great to just write the songs and never pop out of your home.
I'm always saying this on my live shows. You have to do it all these days. You have to be the singer, the songwriter, the producer, the manager, the promoter, the video filmer and editor,
and the star of the video,
the marketing agent. I mean, literally anything you can think of, you have to do it all. So it's hard work to fit it all in.
Yeah, it
is. And still get that, that time when you are writing your songs and having the fun that reason why you want to be doing it in the first place. So yeah, it's a lot of balancing, plus normal life. You need to balance it with your actual family
and pay for all of this stuff as well.
And pay for it and have to pay for it. I mean, oh my.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this again? Oh yes.
Yeah, because we love it so much. Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons is you keep coming back to it, because there's something that this provides that nothing else can. And it's for me, I feel like there's songs inside me and I just want to write those songs, and I kind of like just need to let those songs out.
Yes.
And it's part of it. And it's like, yeah, they're just gonna, like, they're there they're there for the world to hear, or for the people who need to hear them to hear them. And I think you're doing a disservice to yourself if you don't explore that and see what happens, and see what you can do with it.
It's gonna be an interesting and exciting adventure. It's my next thing I need to tackle. The live stuff.
Okay. But you know what, with the world the way that it is, like, it's not the be all and end all. There's lots of different ways of, there's probably new ways. Like, I mean, who knows, next year we might be performing in the metaverse.
Oh yes.
And I'm laughing about it. It's probably going to be true, and we might be running our show in the metaverse and doing a concert there. So
yeah. Oh, I'll meet you there.
Pretty fun. We'll be getting an NFT saxophone for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh gosh, it's all changing again, isn't it? Well, there's another thing we have to learn.
Yeah, it's all good. So let's talk about your latest song. So you've just released a song on the 13th of May, and that's called Holding On, and that's your latest single. Are you working towards making an album, or are you just having singles coming out at the moment?
Yeah, eventually I think we are working towards an album, probably the beginning of next year. I have got trying to release a single sort of every 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh wow.
Now we're sort of trying to cross over onto the house stuff as well. I'm not sure what's happening because I'm just trying to find the right tracks and producers and stuff. But I've got so much drum and bass stuff, because I just went on a drum and bass.
I like your drum and bass. I listen to it on Spotify, SoundCloud. You've got a lot of drum and bass stuff on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've done it for so long. I did it in a different name before, and I've only just changed over to Emily B. I just love it. It's just
and what genre is the Holding On, would you say? Is that drum and bass or the house?
Yeah, drum and bass. If you like big, fat, dirty bass, guys, this is the one for you. It's pretty heavy. Oh, but it was fun to make. I did it with a guy called Simon Splice. He's actually called Exile. He's getting quite big actually in the drum and bass world. He used to be in a massive drum and bass, Manchester-based drum and bass group called North Base, but now he's Exile. I've done quite a few tracks with him, and yeah, now I'm just trying to find the right producers to work with for the more sort of the housey poppy stuff. So interesting, because yeah, some of the drum and bass fans might not be so happy with me for doing the more housey pop stuff, but I just want it be, I don't want to just be confined to just one genre.
Yeah.
Fun to do all different types, and it's a bit like Becky Hill. I don't know if you know Becky Hill or some other singers. They do all sort of genres, and they're doing really, really well. And it doesn't matter that they're doing pop and then drum and bass. It's I mean, it shouldn't matter really.
No, it shouldn't matter. It's kind of I think you've got to be true to your creativity and your what's going to come out, and explore that. But at the same time, like, it's hard not to get into that trap of thinking like the commercialization of it, and a lot of people see that as a dirty word around art, but people want more of the same, right? It's the same as when you make your candles. Like, people don't want like one candle that's weird shaped and then the next time it's a different thing, and like they want to come back and buy the same thing again because that candle ran out, and they're like, that was a really good candle, I want the same one again, or a slightly different one to the other one, and I'll try a different flavor. And that's kind of what it's like with the music. They're like, oh, I really like that song, I want another one like that. Yeah.
Sorry, drum and bass people. I've got so much drum and bass to still get out. Don't worry, it is there.
Okay, so all the fans listening know that there's more drum and bass to come, even though there might not be some coming straight away.
I think the next single is going to be a house one, but who knows? I might surprise you and do drum and bass one.
Cool. Awesome. Well, you've got this one that's only just come out, so this is called Holding On, right?
Yes, and I've done the video for it as well, so that's out on all my pages. I
am Emily Music, right?
I Am Emily Music on Instagram and Facebook, and IamEmilyMusic.com for the website as well.
Yep. And you've got a Spotify as well. I've seen your Spotify. Emily B on Spotify.
Yeah, look for Emily B. Though unfortunately, I didn't realise, because I changed names, I didn't actually check to see if there are Emily B's. There are a lot of Emily B's. It's so rude.
That's all right. There's room for plenty of Emily B's. I'm sure there are. And I have a feeling you're going to rise to the top of the other Emily B's.
There is no one else is allowed.
No more. You can change it. You can change it to Emily C.
Maybe. Yes. Maybe.
No, don't do that.
I used to be called, I'll tell you what I used to be called, and then you'll understand why I changed my name. My name used to be Miss Tantrum.
Oh.
Now, I picked Tantrum was my original drum and bass thing. And then I changed it to Miss Tantrum because people thought I was part of Tantrum Desire, which is a massive drum and bass group. No. And then I was Miss Tantrum, and then I just kept feeling really uncomfortable about that name, because it doesn't actually represent me at all. I'm not like I'm quite chilled out, happy, bubbly, kind of hippie. I'm not this tantrum, this, I don't know what people think when they hear that name, but it doesn't feel like me. So I changed, and Emily B feels right now. But unfortunately there are quite a few Emily B's out on the web, on Spotify and stuff. So look for my logo, which is there it is.
There it is, the lips.
The lips, and the Emily in handwriting, sort of.
No worries. We'll pop your links to your Spotify and your Facebook and Instagram and all that below this video, and people can find you on those places. And it really helps independent artists when people support them through lots of ways. Like, you can support us by liking and sharing this video on YouTube. You can like it, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can go and just interact with the with our Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, wherever you listen to music. And like, if it really helps artists if you follow them on Spotify, or if you have music on SoundCloud, so follow you on SoundCloud.
Yeah, I'm pretty lonely on Spotify, guys. I'm all alone. I need some friends there, because I changed my name. So I started a whole new account, Emily B Spotify. And so any support there would be so wonderful. Thank you. I'm very, very
Yeah,
grateful.
get amongst the Spotify. Like it takes time for it to grow when you're only newly started it. And yeah, it's hard if you already had one good one going, and then now you've got to start all over again with a new name. Yeah, awesome. So people should check that out. Is there anything else you wanted to say? You're all...
I was going to say to anyone out there who wants to start or who is an artist, I think. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me find my notes because my mind. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. People who are doing music, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Fill up your news feeds on your social media accounts with things that inspire you, make you happy. I had loads and loads of other artists popping up, drum and bass, dance, whoever, bigger ones, and or not, but it was stressing me out every time I'd go through on my social media pages, seeing, oh, they're doing that. Oh my God, she's so good. Oh my God, they're so much better than me. I can't do that. I can't sing like that. I can't write a song like that. And it was making me feel really bad about myself. So my advice to everyone, find some happy, positive things to follow. Like I follow all the positive vibes pages with cheesy memes. They lift me up when I see it. And focus just on being you, and don't try and compare yourself and copy anyone else. Just do you, do what you love to do. Ignore everybody else. This is what I'm learning. Don't listen to anyone else. I feel, because I have to say this, because I've been feeling, in a way, being a singer-songwriter, music artist, focusing on music, doing your music, is actually quite lonely, because people who don't do music or aren't creative don't get it. I found from my experience. Old friends who I've been friends with my whole life, they don't get it. I can't talk to them about it, which makes me sad, because it's nice to talk about your music and what makes you happy, talk about things that make you happy with your closest friends and family. And they don't get it because they don't do it. It's just hard work. They think, oh, why are you doing it? You can't make any money from it. Oh, why are you doing it? There's so much competition out there. Just don't get it. It's not about any of the things. It's about doing what you love, the joy of making music, putting it out there. And yes, it's fantastic when people follow you and they comment and they say, I love your track. And that is just an extra bonus from doing it. But it's not the reason why we do it. The reason why we do it is because we just love music. And you just follow your joy and get in the zone, like Moonwind in Soul. Go watch that, people.
Yeah, that sounds like a good movie. That's a good suggestion. Good heartwarming thing. Yeah. I think it's super important about who you hang around with and who you let into that space. Like as a person who's creating something, it's very precious to you when you first make something.
It's so annoying. I get so frustrated. I've been to some social events recently, and I came away feeling awful because my friends were like, you shouldn't do drum and bass. Hello, why not? I do what I want. Thank you very much. I love drum and bass. They don't like drum and bass. Fine, fair enough. But another guy who was an ex, I told him I was doing drum and bass. He told me he was absolutely outraged. I was doing it. I was like,
what, angry? As in angry at you?
Yeah, you know nothing. Just because one day when I was younger, when I was this very young, we were young teenagers and we were going out. And I went out for him not that long, probably a few months, but he was outraged because I said to him once that I didn't like drum and bass or dance music stuff because I wasn't into it back then, but that's fine.
You can change your mind.
Now, a million years later, he's like, how dare you? I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Someone once told me this advice, right? What people say about you says more about them than you.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Right. When people are talking, you have to remind yourself of that, especially if you're reading negative comments online, even, or talking to people like that. You have to think like that. A lot of people are saying that because they don't know how to process the feelings that they wish they could. What they're actually saying to you, Emily, is they want to pursue their creative passion, but they don't have the guts to do what you've done. They don't have the balls to stick it out through the thick and thin. and the money, they're not going to put their own money behind their dream to go forward. And they're jealous that you're doing it. And they're thinking, who are you to do that? Right. They might not want to do drum and bass, but they might want to do something else. And they actually hear that you're taking the steps to do that. And I mean, I don't know those people individually, but I would hazard a guess that there's something, even if they don't even know that that's the reason, like psychologically, they're probably harboring some resentment at their own self and then projecting that onto you. Especially people like that think, oh, you're too old to do this because, you know, you should be focusing on your kids, because they've told themselves that, oh, I can't pursue my dream now because I've got to focus on my kids, or whatever their thing is. And sometimes you have to say, stuff yous. I'm going to keep on going and not listen to your negativity.
I know, and I've only just realized that this year or last year when I started, and I feel so free now. I mean, I do occasionally still get a bit like, oh, that's, you know, sometimes a bit I feel like I don't fit in, because I'm doing this, and a lot of my friends, most of my friends don't do music. All my music friends are my friends online who I haven't even met, like you, Marie, in real life, not been face to face in real life.
That's right. We're still friends. You can still be friends with people online.
Yeah, and I have wonderful friendships with people I've met just from doing music, and producers and DJs and stuff like that, and because we have that connection, because we relate to the music, and relate to what it's like being you know, a songwriter or a producer or whatever, and having to cope with the before the ups and downs and the roller coaster.
So sometimes I wonder, like, when you write music, you're opening an emotional door. And because I only noticed this since I started writing music, because I've done lots of years of running businesses, and you have to be a badass bitch running a business. Like, you have to be a bit cutthroat, not bitchy to people, but although I was from time to time, but you almost you can't make, I don't know, like there's something that happens when you open that door emotionally to be able to write that music, that makes you more vulnerable. And I wonder whether that is part of the sensitivity. And like, sometimes it's like, well, you can't really tap into this super, like, it doesn't even matter the genre. Like, I sometimes listen to people's songs that I wouldn't really listen to that music myself as a, you know, oh, let me relax to this punk metal, this really hardcore song, but you can hear the intensity in it. You can hear the emotion in it. And or something that's, you know, super slow and folky and emotive, and you're like, oh, I'm nearly ready to cry or something. That actually, it's almost like it takes a little bit of your heart or your soul or whatever to create that. And it because it's kind of tapping into that, it feels like sometimes you're very vulnerable around that. And you have to be, if you want to do more of that, you kind of have to become a more sensitive, more vulnerable person. I don't know, that's just my experience.
Explaining your feelings to everyone, exactly, in that way, in the music.
And the people don't realize that that's a cost, that like you actually have to pay that price to push out a good song. I think you have to do that. And that costs you, because you might be feeling really, like, sometimes I've written some songs and then the whole rest of the day, like, you obviously you feel this high, you feel this great feeling, but there's something else that happens as well. Like, I know you mentioned to me, like, we were talking about the ups and downs of stuff, and that sometimes can happen. Like you can be on the top of the world and then just even worse than that. Like, you're like, how can I go from like being the most feeling ever to just like feeling like almost like I want to die, like within a day, like that.
Mentioned that, have we? But yes, we should do. Yes, the music makes us high, but then if you have the crash afterwards, because it's quite draining when you're making music. And you're giving your soul, you're putting your soul into it, and you've done it, and you get really high, but there's always a bit of a crash afterwards, because then, well, for me sometimes, and it shouldn't be like this, I'm trying to snap myself out a bit more, but you do a song, I get totally overexcited about it just because I'm having so much fun, and then a few hours later I'm like, it's rubbish, everyone's going to hate it, no one's going to listen to it, nobody cares, blah blah. Oh, that's so bad. You got to snap out of it, you got to do some meditation. It was like, you emailed me on Friday, it was my previous Friday, it was my release day. Crashed. I hate release days, because I get so excited, because it means a lot to me. I'm releasing a track, but of course, no, it's a Friday in the morning, the song's out, we posted a few things on social media, everyone's at work.
Yeah.
You know, not it's not their main thing of their day to check out that you've
Yeah.
had a
They're not taking the day off like you are because it's your release day.
It means so much. You're like, oh, it's out. What's happening? Anything happening? Nothing happening.
Oh, nobody likes it. It's a terrible song. It's a failure.
God, I'm gonna give up because I can't do it anymore. Everybody hates me. There's nothing to do with that at all. And it really shouldn't. I shouldn't get. Sometimes you just can't control it. It's like after my live streams on a Friday when I do a live stream and I interview people and I get excited and I really love it. It's really good fun. We talk about all the music and stuff. Afterwards, I really struggle after every single live stream. I after this as well. Because I get passionate, I get excited, and then afterwards I feel the crash, and it's hard to control. You can't control it. It's like, I guess, with any stars, anyone on stage performing afterwards, you get the crash afterwards, don't you? Or the big stars when they're doing their massive shows, and how do they feel? It's just,
yeah, you do. And part of it's adrenaline, like just physical adrenaline's dropping off. And part of it's also like there's a sadness that comes when something's finished, like the song's finished, and like I kind of feel like there's this massive, when you firstly write a song, especially like, let's say I might write a song and do it acoustically or something, and I used to get like this once I'd done that, because I used to think, oh, that's all the song's gonna be. But now I've been doing it with a producer and stuff, it's like, once we've done that demo, I'm like super excited about that, because I'm like, oh, I can see the pieces of the puzzle are all kind of there, and it's only just going to get better from there, right? And this kind of gives people a feeling, and it's almost kind of done. And so there's a high from that, and then I might share that to like a few friends and family, not that many people, right, obviously. But then you work on this song, right? And you have probably listened to that same song, probably, especially if you're like you and I making our own video clips and stuff, and you've listened to that song to death, right? But you've also, like, every time I listen to it, I'm still loving it. By the time you put it out, you've heard it, I don't know, 100 times probably. And, you've really critiqued it, like, oh, but is that, especially with, electronic kind of music, you're like, oh, that's that little sound, or probably your producer's like, oh, that snare. Oh, no, I don't care about the snare. Whatever, that sound, like, it's just, you've listened to it so intensely that by the time the release day comes, you're almost sick of the song yourself. So you don't get that goodness, I find, from like, oh yes, my beautiful song, and everyone else is getting that. So you're already having this down, because you're like, well, I've put the song out there. And I almost, sometimes I feel like, especially if it is a good song, there's always a feeling like, am I ever going to write another good song like that? What if that's the best song I can ever do?
True to mention as well, you're only as good as your last song or your last post. I mean, it's so frustrating. I spend hours making these videos, Instagram and everything, and sometimes I'm really like, yeah, that's quite cool. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to beat that one next? I get loads of views, and the next one I get 2 views. And I mean, it doesn't matter about the views, but you know what I mean? To keep people interested in things. Yeah. It's,
but people have to realize that these, like, independent artists are like, well, all artists are, but especially independent artists who are having to do it. One is you're busy doing all this work all the time, working in your day job or doing other things to get money so that you can, and run your family and all the other things you've got to do. And then you're also on this emotional roller coaster. Like, it's okay to have a bad day every so often. It's okay to give yourself a bit of space to,
It is totally. I use meditation to help me when I get like that too. It helps, and listening to energy healing stuff on YouTube, guys.
It's quite good. I like those binaural beats. Sometimes I listen to that. Yeah,
it really works actually.
Yeah, just zone out.
So there's a guy called Jonathan Goldman. I think that was his name, and he's got some really good stuff on there as well.
Okay, I'll check it out.
And I use Headspace. Have you heard of the Headspace?
Yes.
Every night I fall asleep to one of their sleep casts called This Temple Rain, and it's so relaxing. And
it's good, isn't it? Like, just having the rain and the little man talking to you. Good night. going to bed now.
Your mind's buzzing. It doesn't have to be because you're a musician. It could be for anyone. But you've got a lot going on in your head, and especially being excited about your latest song that you've just written, you can't switch off.
Well, exactly. I find, like, we're talking about gigging and stuff before, like when I'd go and gig with my band, we mostly play covers and stuff. I'd come back from a gig and you won't be getting home until 2 a.m. because you've stopped playing at midnight probably, and then you've got to pack down all the gear and you drive home, and and then you haven't eaten any food. That if you're a singer, you're not going to eat. Like, I can't eat before a gig because I can't sing on a full stomach. So I'll have to eat either really early at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then by the end of the gig, you're hungry. So I might go through a drive-through and get something to eat. And then by the time you get home, it's like 2:30 and 3 o'clock and you're wired as. So whenever I do a gig with the band for a Saturday night, and it's great, I'm not complaining. It was a good thing, but it would take up the whole weekend. Like, cause I'll sleep in on the Sunday to catch up on the sleep. But sometimes I'd use those headspace type of things to calm, because what inevitably, like the latest song that we'd learned as the band, and it'll be like da, 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 ba, da, ba, ba, da, da, going on in your head all night long, and you're like, I can't sleep because I've got this like ba, da, da, ba, da, da. Some kind of song that you were playing that night is going around in your head.
Yeah, I get it completely.
So weird. Anyway, it was been so great to chat with you.
Oh, it's been lovely to talk to you, Mary. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, awesome. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank you so much. And people can check out, Emily B has a live show every Friday in the UK, 7 o'clock time. Is that right?
It's 7:30.
7:30 p.m. UK time. So you can check that out, and it's available post live as a replay as well.
Yes, it is on
Facebook
and on YouTube. I'm just going to put them all up on there as well.
Yeah.
Any musicians or DJs or anyone involved in the music industry would like to come on the live stream and chat to me about their music and their music projects, please do get in touch. Anyone can email me and I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome.
My email, iamemilymusic@gmail.com.
Yeah, cool. I've been on your show. It's 2 a.m. for me. It was quite fun.
It's so kind.
In Perth. But yeah, it's great, and you're very vibrant, and like I mean, that's drum and bass and house music. You're all pop, and you it's like a party in your house. Coming out.
Happy, chat, have a drink. I always have a gin, you know me.
There you go.
Or a cup of tea.
Awesome. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Make sure you subscribe to the show if you haven't already. Make sure you click that subscribe button and the notification bell. And thank you so much for listening to the Good Vibes Show. We'll see you again next time. Thank you.